Okay.
No, it totally does. In fact, it expired. No, it expired November 28th of 2022.
It expired? You're drinking expired Coke?
Apparently, yeah.
Folks, welcome to the greatest horror podcast of all time. Death by Podcast. Thanks for listening. I'm your host, Adam. That's your other host drinking expired Diet Coke.
Yep. Hi.
Say your name, man. Say
Kevin.
your name.
Kevin.
Okay.
Sorry, I was drinking the Diet Coke.
Yeah, see, it's already... I watched a couple things. I watched Real Genius. You ever see Real Genius?
Yeah, with Val Kilmer.
Yeah, phenomenal.
Yeah, movie's awesome.
He's got this shirt that says, I heart toxic waste. I want it so bad.
Yeah.
And that's what you're drinking, dude. It doesn't, I mean, it might say it's expired. That's just to cover their own asses. You're fine.
Yeah, so I have to buy more.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have no idea how it even, like, I don't drink this ever.
Yeah, lies.
Really?
Welcome to, well, it's in your house, man. Welcome to the show, folks. Episode 72 today, celebrating episode 72, Carlton Fisk.
Favorite baseball player ever.
Yours, really?
Yeah, I have like every Carlton Fisk baseball card.
You know that's Joe's favorite baseball.
I know, we've talked about it. Yeah.
Okay, that's weird. I've never met two Carlton Fisk fans. Get out of here.
Yeah. Look at my email address.
Yeah. Oh,
It's my name and 72. That's
all right.
why.
Fair enough. Weird. That's weird. I got to talk to Joe about that. Tonight's main show, Carlton Fisk baseball. No, tonight's main show is Happy Birthday to Me, 1981. Kevin, this is the third movie in a row from 1981 that we've done. Why is that?
I don't know, man.
What did we do? This is Happy H. We did Funhouse. That was 81. Then we did, what was last?
No, the last one was Good Son. That was
Good Son. There was another one before that then. All right, so three in a month or whatever. Before we get to that, we had some stuff. We just recorded the Patreon podcast where we did Tales from the Crypt, season 2, episode 17, My Brother's Keeper, about two guys connected at the butt.
Excellent episode, if you ask me.
Kevin really liked it. Also, there's a lot of Michael Keaton going around in that episode. So if you like Michael Keaton, be sure to check that out. What is that? Patreon.com/deathbypodcast.
I think so. Yeah.
I think that's what it is. And what else we have to say? I have a couple what'd you watches. I know you said you did too. Before we do that, I wanted to give a shout out, if you don't mind, Kevin, to I want to get the handle correct. Oh, that's a good picture. Shout out to, of course I lost it. Peter Cushing Association. I don't know how official that is, but we all know Peter Cushing, right?
Yeah.
They just posted a thing and I reposted it in the stories, and then we had a little chit chat back and forth. But it just reminded me that I just love Peter Cushing. He's amazing. Obviously I found him through Star Wars, but the guy is a horror. Aside from Star Wars, everything he did is horror, and he did a lot of stuff.
Yep.
There's some cool movies. I want to watch Shockwaves.
I don't know that one.
No, I think it's about German zombies, and he's in it. I want to see that. I might watch that tonight. Anyway, it was a good chit chat. I wanted to give a shout out. Community, right? It's all about community.
Yeah.
What else? Never mind. What was your you have any news? Did you have any news today?
Oh, you know what? I did not have any news, but I didn't look any up.
That's fine. Forget it. It's too late. But you did have a what'd you watch? What'd you watch?
I watched a couple of things. I actually watched a lot of stuff this week.
Good for you.
I wanted to do an update on last week. So last week,
Picard? Is it Picard?
No, we talked about Picard.
We finished
didn't
Picard, right?
Yeah,
okay,
Picard's done.
All right, what do you got?
No, last week I brought up Radio Flyer, that I got into
I forgot
conversation with someone about Radio Flyer, and that the ending, like how absurd, like
that they all die.
Well, the conversation I had was they brought up how sad that movie was, and I'm like, isn't that sad? Like, what do you mean? Like, yeah, the little kid gets beat up a lot, but that's not sad, And they were like, Well, no, the little kid dies at the end of the movie. The stepfather beats him to death, and I'm like, that doesn't happen in that movie at all. And it was like, yeah, it does. That's how the movie ends. Like, the ending's a metaphor for that. And I'm like, no, they build a airplane out of their wagon and they fly
And they
away at
fly
the end of the movie.
away. God damn.
And they were like, no, that didn't happen. That was he made that up because it's Tom Hanks is that you were right, by the way. I said last week Tom Hanks is not in it. He is. He's the narrator.
Okay. Yeah. That makes
And
sense.
I was like, no,
I
that's
mean, it takes a big man to say to admit you're wrong. I like that. I like that about you.
well, thanks, man. But I'll tell you what. So I rewatched the movie because I was like, yeah, that's a great point. That it seems unlikely that they would have built an airplane out of a wagon, and then the little kid like flies around the country and sends his family postcards. Like that's how the movie ends.
Like he drops them. He doesn't land. He just drops them from midair. The
It's
postcards.
let me tell you something, man, about this movie. I rewatched it.
Yeah.
It is not clear at all. It's just as confusing
Really?
because they play it completely straight. Put it this way, it's a whole movie, and it's very like it's a very real movie. It's a movie about a kid, like the two kids, one of which is getting like beat up by their stepdad on a regular basis, and they start building an airplane out of a wagon in their like in a shed in their backyard.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay. And then it's I mean, it's a pretty hardcore like subject matter. And then at the end of the movie, they push this fucking wagon that they built in a week down a hill and like off a ramp, and it works and it just flies. And then like and the mom is there, and the mom's like, where is he? What happened? And Elijah Wood's like, look, he's right there. And the mom's like, what? And then it's like, my mom never stopped looking for him. And then it was like,
What?
yeah. And it's like, wait. And then, but
Because
then
he's
it goes,
buried in the
right.
backyard.
But then it goes, that's like until we got the first postcard. And it's like, wait, what? Like, and it's like, yeah,
Dude.
he's been flying around and it's so, but it's insanity. Like it's
Yeah.
so like, okay, the whole third act of this movie, and the whole thing is the movie is framed around Tom Hanks telling his kids this story. And it's like, did he just make up that is like what kind of a story is this to tell your kids? Like,
It's his brother, right?
yeah, it's
Supposed
his
to be Tom
brother.
Hanks' brother.
Yeah. But then so I looked it up to be like, okay, well maybe there's a draft of this that maybe it's based on a book or something. And
Yeah.
I could find out what the real deal is. What happened was they brought on the real director. The guy that wrote the movie originally was directing it. He got fired after like a month, and they replaced him with Richard Donner.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
And Richard Donner changed a couple things about the movie, but the original ending is that like Tom Hanks is with his kids, and then he like shows them they're at like the aviation museum, and the wagon is next to the Wright brothers plane in the aviation museum, which is like, wait, how? Like what? And it's just not, but like I don't know. So I don't know. And like I don't know. It's really annoying, this movie, because I've been told like, well, it's like what one of those tests where it's you look at a picture and some people see one thing and other people see another, and
So there's got to be a point in the third act, like real close to the end, where where it turns into imagination.
nope.
I'm saying like you got to rewatch it, I think, and look for a point where the story, like, it's going to be tricky to spot, but there's got to be a point where
There's not.
they're building the wagon maybe, and like, and then and that's the point where the kid dies. And
Well, then
and then Tom Hanks' imagination takes over and keeps going.
Well,
And
here's the other thing. Like, there's a bunch of shit in there that's like, well, wait, how'd that work then? Because they have a giant turtle. They own a giant turtle named Samson, and the turtle is on the wagon. Like it's in when it flies away.
It's in the wagon.
It's in the wagon with the
Co-pilot.
yeah.
Okay.
And he's telling his kids this story, and one of the kids says, "Is that where we got Samson?" And he's like, "Yep." It's like,
All right.
and
Right there, that's bullshit because one, a giant turtle is gonna like hold down your wagon. It's not gonna be able to lift off.
an 8-year-old can't build an airplane out of a wagon. I would like you to
Two,
watch this
if
movie
you
and
put a
see.
turtle, if the kid's just flying, if he's still up there right now, just flying around in his wagon, you got to feed a turtle.
It's also, well, here's the thing. He does land, like that's the thing. They get a postcard. They start getting postcards from all over the country and
Yeah.
all over the world. And apparently this kid is this kid is flying all over the world in this wagon. Like, it doesn't make any sense.
Dude, there needs to be a sequel that's
Well,
just complete
here's the
Never
thing too.
Neverland, and all it is this kid and his adventures with Samson.
I'm going to tell you something here, and you're going to be like, well, okay, then obviously
All right,
it's not. So there's a scene where
listen.
they're imagining, they think Bigfoot's outside. They're making like
Oh
Bigfoot,
shit.
whatever.
Yeah.
And then they open the window and they see Bigfoot. Like it's a real Bigfoot model. And then like they jump into the covers and then you look and it's the dog. Okay. Like they have a real guy playing Bigfoot for like half a
Dude.
second in this
Yeah.
movie. So that implies like, okay, well, we're showing things that are their imagination, but
Right.
that's it. That's the only time that happens in the movie.
Just the Bigfoot.
Just the Bigfoot for about half a second.
Dude, I don't remember any of this stuff, and I've seen this movie, but
You should
maybe I
rewatch
need
it
to
and rewatch it and wait for the part where you think it's going to turn. And the thing is,
I will, yeah.
if that does happen, like if it is like, okay, this is the part where it's imagination. Well, then what did really happen? Like it just like there's no point where it's like he's beating up the kid and then they get away and get in the plane. It's like
It's got to be a part. It's going to be something subtle where like
I don't think so,
Jimmy
man.
went to sleep, and then they wake like maybe it's one night when they go to sleep, and then they wake up, and that's where when they wake up now it's imagination.
I'm dying to know, man. And like
You love imagination.
it's annoying. Because it's like if it were more clear or less clear, it would be better. Like it would just be like it would, here's the equivalent. Here's what it's like. It's like watching The Godfather, and then at the end of the movie, an 8-year-old builds an airplane and flies. Like it doesn't make any sense. It would be, you know what I'm saying?
Wait, why can't it be just a movie about kids and then they build an airplane and fly away? Why the Godfather?
Because I'm saying it's like watching a regular movie that
Yeah.
like it's about adult tones and it's fine. But like imagine if in that movie, at the end of the movie, like one of the gangsters builds an airplane out of a wagon and flies away. It doesn't make any fucking sense. Like
You're
it's
equating these kids to gangsters, though.
whatever. I mean, like I'm trying to think. I couldn't. Stand by Me. That's a better example. Imagine Stand by Me is Stand by Me the whole movie, and then after they find the body, they build a fucking airplane and fly away.
Dude, you sound like oh my god. Wait,
Or
so
it
what about like with the
It doesn't
same
even
hold
have to
true?
be an airplane, but like imagine like they build a hot air balloon, or like
What about-
imagine the ending of Explorers
Wait, I got it.
tacked on.
I was gonna say Explorers.
Yeah,
All
except
right, wait, before you get to Explorers, would it be more like Halloween and
if they
and Michael Myers gets shot, and instead of falling off the balcony, he gets into a wagon airplane and flies away.
I'm saying like here's the thing. It works in Explorers because that whole movie is like fantastical and they find this like like they're dealing with that shit the whole time. So then at the end when they go to space, it works with the rest of the movie.
You got to
You
know,
know?
yeah, you got to know the rules of the universe.
Like yeah, I'm saying like imagine it's Stand by Me and then but with the Explorers ending where they get in a spaceship and fly away.
It's like a
That's what
can,
this is. It's just
basically.
jarring. It's like, wait, what?
Yeah.
What just happened?
Yeah, but you only recently realized that is what you're seeing. You thought that they actually up until
Yeah,
recently you thought that they got in the wagon and flew away.
I still do. I think that's the ending. It just doesn't make any fucking sense.
Oh my god, I love it.
I still think that's the
Whew.
intended ending
All
is
right.
like, look, we got away.
It's not metaphor, it's literal.
Yeah, that's the only way to take it.
Okay. I'm gonna
It
rewatch it. I'll let you know.
it's
Maybe you're
nuts.
right. Maybe you're right, man. Maybe you're right.
What did you watch?
Did you have another one? Or you
I
want to go
did,
back
but
and forth? You want to go back and forth?
we can go back and forth.
Um,
Yeah.
so I watched on your suggestion. I watched my cousin's weenie.
Holy shit! Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Only because I know you put it in our thing, but like it was on TV. Not only I would have watched it, but it was on TV. I happened to turn it on right when it started, and I was like, all right. I was sitting here anyway. Um, I think I was like not hesitant, but wasn't so interested to watch it because I thought it was a Ralph Macchio movie. He's in it for like 5 minutes, maybe.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
a what's his name? Vinny Testarossa. What's his name?
It's a Joe Pesci movie.
Joe Pesci. It's a Joe Pesci movie.
Yeah.
And he's great. And I had seen it before, but it had been probably when it came out. Um yeah, he's great, man. And it was really good. Like Joe Pesci obviously is a great actor and he people know him for Scorsese and shit like that and De Niro and being just one of the worst people ever in everything. So it was really good to see him play a character with heart, like a good guy. But also like maintain his like he still had that
He
whippersnappery.
had that edge, but
Yeah,
he did this. It's the same year as Goodfellas.
really.
Yeah, they both came out
Okay.
in 1990. Like that's wild.
That is wild. Because he's such a shitbag. And I mean, I love those movies. I have to be in a real mood to watch those movies though. But it was great. And what's his name? Uh, Herman
Red
Munster,
Gwynn.
Fred Gwynn
Yeah.
was great. The two kids I could give two shits about. There's nothing against Ralph Macchio. I love Karate Kid, but he's not a good actor and he's not engaging. You don't watch a movie for him. I don't watch Karate Kid for him. I watch it for Johnny. I watch it for Mr. Miyagi and just the 80s Elizabeth Shue. But
Sure.
but it was great, man. And Marissa Tomei is really good in it, but how she won an Oscar for that, I do not know. That's
I
not
don't know.
that's not an Oscar performance.
No, she's got that one really good scene. Yeah, I mean she's
In
good
in
throughout
the
the movie,
courthouse, yeah.
but yeah, that one big scene is good. I mean, but
She's just such a she's a typical stereotypical side female character of the time that's well, a lot of times what they got relegated to, but um I just didn't see it wasn't meaty enough for an Oscar. I don't know.
yeah, I don't
Not
know
to
what
take anything
else
away.
was up for it that year.
Yeah, yeah,
But yeah, but yeah, what a movie. They yeah, and Fred Gwynn is great. Like
yeah.
that they really do like they have this great like back and forth. And it's one of those movies that like cracks me up every time. Like when he shows up in the fucking purple suit.
I love that. I was just gonna say because I love how like the whole time he's like, fuck you, podunk town
Yeah,
judge, everything. And then in that scene, he's really trying to show respect.
but he can't
But
because
he
he's
can't
like
because he's like, this
he's
is all
dressed
I
like a
got, man.
vampire.
Yeah.
It's the
Yeah.
best. It's like, what is that? Like it's the best.
Like
Or like
by
just that. Oh,
yeah, yeah. By the end of it, he's not just playing the game to, you know, gain ground. He's actually trying to show respect. And I thought that was really
it's got kind of a Groundhog Day vibe. You know what I mean? Where it's like
sure.
eventually through repetition and through like,
Yeah.
It's just all these like little lines. Like everybody knows like the two Utes thing,
Oh
and
yeah.
but like,
Utes. I forgot about that, man.
what is a Ute? Like,
Yeah. That is a great scene. That is a great back and forth. Like I don't know if anybody else could have done it as good as Fred Gwynn. Like his
he was
voice.
so good because he was so.
What is a Ute? um,
They can't. But like, I love when he goes into the diner and he sees the menu.
oh yeah,
And it's breakfast, lunch, and dinner. He's like, "What do you think? Breakfast? Okay."
She's like, no, she's like, breakfast. He's like, you think? Go ahead. It's
Like he's good. Yeah,
yeah,
it's I'm so glad you watched. I'm so glad you liked it.
yeah.
You know?
No, I knew I would like it. I just had to get past the Machio thing. But yeah, it was good. You had another one?
Yeah, I watched The League of Their Own.
Oh, okay.
Which I'm telling you, man, like every time I see it, I like it more.
Yeah, it's great.
It's a fucking masterpiece.
It is. It's been a while since I've seen it, but it's not too long. I mean,
One of the things I noticed, it wasn't this time, but the time I watched it before, that I wish more movies would do, because it was this is the only time I found it distracting, is the trick they do with the older actresses, where they because I anytime they either old people make up,
oh, you mean like in the present day scenes
yeah.
or whatever?
So like in other movies, they'll either throw on a bunch of old people makeup, which never looks good, or they'll replace them with a different actress, and it's like okay. And sometimes it works, and sometimes it doesn't. Always remember it working really well in that movie.
Yeah.
And then recently, I watched it, and I was like, "Oh, that's why it works," because they use a different actress, but they all the actresses they got to play the older women, they look a lot like them, and then they replace their voices
Oh,
with
really?
like yeah, it's like she's lip syncing Gina Davis doing the lines.
Really?
Yeah,
It's like ADR.
yeah, it's basically ADR'd with In fact, she probably read the lines and then Gina Davis did it over it,
Interesting.
and it comes off great.
Yeah.
Like you buy that that's her.
Yeah.
You know, that's
Um,
it. Anytime they have a different actor,
at
like
that
in
point,
you know,
in the current the present day scenes, is Tom Hanks dead at that point?
they find at the end of the movie you find out he's dead
Okay.
because the whole thing is that they're getting inducted in the Hall of Fame.
Oh, right. Okay.
And like she goes and she walks into like the real Hall of Fame, the like men's Hall of Fame,
Yeah.
and yeah, they have a little thing for him, but he had died.
Okay.
I think all the
Um,
men are dead. To be
yeah.
honest, like yeah,
Is that Penny Marshall?
yeah, Penny
Yep.
Marshall.
Okay. I almost said Ron Howard, but
Everybody's at their best, man. Tom Hanks.
yeah.
It's just he's the best.
Yeah, he is.
I miss that Tom Hanks.
I do too. That was what was that
That's
90,
92. It's right
92?
before Philadelphia, man. Like
Okay.
it's probably the last time we got it.
It was like that. Well, in the same year so it was that, and then he did Philadelphia and uh what else? Forrest
Forrest
Gump
Gump
was
was 94.
94. So Philadelphia was 93. So it was like League of Their Own, Philadelphia, Forrest
Yeah,
Gump.
but
He
after
won
that
those back-to-back Oscars.
you stop getting fun Hanks after that, you know?
Funny. Thanks.
Like Bachelor Party or Big or like that Tom
Splash,
Hanks,
yeah, all that stuff, man.
you know? The
Joe
like
versus Volcano.
yeah, like that. Yeah, he was the best. And
He
like
was.
you know,
Wasn't he at some point referred to as like, was it him, America's dad? Was that
yeah, people would say that about
like
him.
he always reminded me of my uncle who I love and like just like yeah, I guess he started going more yeah, fun. I guess that's the best way to put it. I mean, he still made fun movies, but
Yeah, but he stopped being that Tom Hanks. You know what I mean?
also
Like,
the 80s ended. So,
yeah.
you
I
know,
mean, you got,
that affects a lot of things.
I mean, like the Lady Killers is fun, but it's different. It's
I
like,
didn't like that movie. I really wanted to like that movie.
nobody likes that movie but me. I've never met, except me and my old roommate watched it all the time. We both loved it, but
I mean, I'm a
everybody else,
huge Coen Brothers fan and
yeah,
just didn't
I
do it.
love that one. But I've, like I said, besides my roommate, I've never met anybody else that likes it.
Yeah.
Um,
Your other what'd you watch? I wanted to ask you about. Can you give me a spoiler-free Guardians of the Galaxy?
oh yeah, I did see Guardians.
Joe saw it.
Just like spoiler free, like good, bad,
Yeah,
like
yeah. I'm curious.
solid.
Really
Yeah, solid.
interesting.
It's good. I mean, I think I don't think it's as good as everybody's saying, but it's
Yeah.
also not like I have nothing to complain about.
Okay.
Like it was good.
Joe hated it. He said his review was it was sad and gross.
I didn't think it. That's the thing. Everybody keeps saying that it's like this like big sad like ending, and I didn't really get that. I don't know. You'll see it.
Easy spoilers, easy.
Yeah, you'll see it.
I probably won't see it till it's streaming. I'm not in the mood of giving Marvel. I pay for Disney Plus. It's like,
Yeah.
you know, unless it's Star Wars, I might see Indiana Jones in the theater. I will see. I'll see Indiana Jones.
I might wait on Indiana Jones.
It's the last Indiana Jones movie. You gotta see it.
I guess. I mean, I'm still bitter about the last one, and
Yeah, but that was a pile of shit, and everybody knows that. Nobody's gonna disagree with you on that.
yeah.
It's weird that Spielberg doesn't want to direct the last Indiana Jones movie, the last Harrison Ford Indiana Jones movie.
I mean, honestly, man, Spielberg's really been,
Doing weird stuff.
dude. When's the last time? Like when I heard he got
Fun
he,
Spielberg?
well, like when I heard he was going to do Ready
Funberg?
Player One, I was like, that's going to be awesome, and then it wound up being like, meh, I
I
guess.
still haven't seen that.
And then what's the other ones he did? He did that. He did like,
Dude, wasn't Ready Player One your antithesis? Like you're just like, isn't it all just like, hey, remember this? Hey, remember this? Hey, remember
yeah, but
this?
I had read the book, and the book is less that. I mean, the book is still like, in hindsight, the book's a little. It's not like he's not driving around in the DeLorean or anything in the book. Like
I mean, I
it,
haven't seen the movie, but that's all I hear is like, oh, it's got you
yeah,
like
it
it, Adam,
is.
because you like the 80s. And no, it's not an 80s movie. Get out of here.
Yeah, the movie is literally everything I hate about things.
Yeah.
But the book's a little better. Um and like I don't know. Like what else is in there? It was just yeah, but I don't know. What's the other movie he did? He did a bunch of ones that like
He
how
did something
crazy
about
is
a
that?
horse. He did something with no actors in it.
Warhorse, he did that they did the big fucking guy. What's that movie?
That was a while ago, though. That was a while ago.
That was the last one I saw that was like, okay, that should be a big but nothing now it's not a big deal. It used to be his movies were a big deal. And
Yeah.
then now it's like, yeah, like
I don't even care anymore.
I mean,
You know
well, didn't
why?
he? What did he do last? Wait, no. Oh, he did the Fablemans this year.
What?
Um,
Yeah.
the,
See, exactly. Like what?
but that I'm actually like, if he's gonna do award movies, sure,
Isn't that a
man.
movie? Isn't that a movie about himself or something?
Yeah, kind of. It's kind of
Yeah.
like a
Get out of
loose
here.
biography.
Go have a wank. Um, yeah, I don't want to watch his movies anymore. You know why though, Kevin? Because I would rather be watching Happy Birthday to Me.
Okay,
Are we ready for this?
sure, we could do that.
All right. Do we have anything else? Any other What'd You Watches? Did you have another one?
No, not really. I watched some documentaries, but nothing
Yeah.
crazy.
Documentaries are for saps. Um, I mentioned on the Patreon about Wolfman's Got Nards. That one sucks. Um, all right, man. This is it. This is the one. Happy Birthday to Me, 1981.
Yeah,
Uh, written and directed. I didn't catch it. I don't know. I can't
I
remember.
got it. I
You
got
got
it.
it. We got it. We got it. We got
I got the notes on this one.
it. As you check your back pocket,
I took notes and I wrote down the director and
but you can't find them. You're like looking all around.
I wrote notes. I don't know where the
Yeah,
fuck are
yeah,
they.
yeah. You don't know where they are. All right.
This is the first set of notes about
On the back, what is that? A coaster? What is it?
no, this is part of my this is why I take notes on a lot of the time. It's the tearaway Jeopardy calendar that I have at work every day. Every day is a clue.
Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah, that's cool.
so I have a big stack of them at work. What I can't believe
I
I
like
lost
that.
it.
Well, while you're looking for it, you hated this movie.
I didn't hate it. I mean, it was just like
I
if I
don't think,
saw I just thought it was fine and forgettable. There were certain things about it that were like, oh, that's neat, that's good.
yeah.
But I didn't think anything was, amazing,
So this is one of those that had like, the classic VHS cover that I saw as a kid. Never got to see it because it's literally like a dude with his mouth open and getting skewered by a shish kebab.
Yeah. Which by the way,
Um,
the tagline
yeah,
is
yeah,
is
yeah.
what does it say? John will never
Well, it was
eat
like a
shish crab again. Yeah,
yeah.
this guy's not in the movie. I mean, someone does die this way, but the character's name isn't John. He doesn't look like that.
Is that character on the cover in the movie?
No.
Okay, it's just generic.
Yeah.
Um,
I got the director. The director's name is J. Lee Thompson.
oh right, right.
He
I
directed
meant to
Guns
write
of
that.
the Yeah, he directed Guns of the Navarone
Oh
back in
really?
the 60s. Yeah, he directed the original Cape Fear.
With Oh man,
Gregory Peck.
Gregory Peck. I almost said Walter Peck.
You know what's funny? I was watching. My kids have been into the Real Ghostbusters cartoon,
Yeah,
and we watched one the other day where with Walter Peck, and I'm like, I didn't
really.
know he was ever on the show.
He's also the villain in Real Genius.
He is, yeah, he is.
Yeah.
Robert Atherton, or
Yep.
not Robert?
Yep. Yep.
Is it
Atherton.
Robert? Is it Robert though?
William. William.
William, yeah, that's it. Because he's in Die Hard
Die Hard.
as
Yeah.
well.
He's awesome. I love that guy. I know he always plays a scumbag, but every time I see him, I'm like, we're in the 80s. Here we go.
He's not wrong in Ghostbusters, by the way. Like he works for the EPA, and like
Yeah. But
he's
it's
not.
also the entire attack on New York is also his fault. So
Yeah, they could have handled it better.
yeah.
To be
Yeah.
honest, like one could argue it's Venkman's fault for like, but he also
Oh,
directed
yeah.
two Planet of the Apes movies. He directed Conquest and Battle
No shit. All right.
for the
Shame
Planet of
on
the
me,
Apes.
man. Shame on me because the
Those
best,
two aren't any good, by the way.
well, says you, but two the best thing, my favorite part of this movie is the directing. I feel like this guy, and now that you say a couple of those movies, Guns and Navarone and whatever, but it makes sense that he's not just a throwaway director for a cheap 80s movie. There were things in this movie, man, that I don't think people are appreciating as far as like, yeah, it's just like a cheesy, you know, D level horror movie that whatever it came and went.
Sure.
But like there's stuff that I specifically thought was intentional. The race at the beginning, the car race,
Yeah,
and all that
that
stuff,
was
and how just how he what he did with the camera when the cars were like taking off. There was a lot of intentional shots as they were taking off towards the bridge. He did a lot of cool camera work when people were having a discussion back and forth, like two people, where he would like he'd follow the person with the camera in a really unique way and zoom in and then frame their face in like a non-traditional way where the person usually the person would be like on one side of the screen and what they're talking to would be in front of them. He would move the face to the other side. I don't know. It was just really interesting style of directing. Um, I don't know. Stuff like that I really dug. I thought the kills were mostly
those were
really,
solid. I
really
mean, most
good.
of them were pretty good.
Yeah.
You know, the weights I think was probably the best one.
Yeah.
You
It was a
know,
good one.
the ending was a little wacky. Like,
Ending was crazy. Don't go there yet, but like
okay,
um the the kills. So check this out. As far as I can remember, um in the opening scene, the girl gets into her car and uh the killer is behind her in the back seat and starts to strangle her, right? She plays dead. She plays possum, like she plays dead in order for the killer to like
yeah.
relax and so she can get away. I've never seen that. Have
I've
you ever
always
seen that?
thought about that, like in movies, like,
Yeah,
wow,
why
why
don't you
wouldn't you
play
try
dead?
and do that? Play dead, and then you can, yeah. I think about that a lot,
I
and
feel like that's the first time I've ever seen that.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it's
So
got to be probably difficult to do. Like you're getting
yeah,
choked to death, and I'm
yeah,
gonna pretend to die, and then
not fight for your life, right?
right. One funny thing. So you know the thing with Psycho, the that they did with the marketing, where they put up signs in movie theaters saying like you will not be admitted late to this movie. If you show up
Oh yeah,
late, you're fucked. Like
sure.
we won't let you in.
That was a Hitchcock thing. He used to do that stuff like that,
Yeah. But it started with Psycho because of the beginning of Psycho.
right?
Um they
Oh.
did they kind of tried to do something similar, but it was the last 10 minutes. They said you won't be admitted within the last 10 minutes of the movie, as if someone was gonna roll in like an hour and 10 minutes into the movie and like just watch the last 10 minutes.
With this?
Yeah,
Oh,
that's what they
really?
tried to do. Yeah, they said you will not be admitted, like with 10 minutes left of the movie. Like
That's awesome. They knew the beginning of the whole majority of the movie was like
I think
garbage.
it was just marketing.
Yeah.
It was just like, oh, this is gonna make it sound like crazy.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's not like that would make any more sense if you just walked in. Be like, wait, what? Who is this? Because that's what I was doing, and I sat through the whole movie.
So the girl, she's smart enough to play dead to get away, but she's not smart enough to keep running. She like gets away and then
And
she
then she keeps
stops.
stopping. Yeah.
It's
And
like, what are
like,
you doing, man?
yeah, I agree. I
Especially
was
when
thinking
she
the same thing.
saw before she gets strangled, there's people outside, like not too far away. So it's like that's a cool move, awesome, but also why would you stop and like it was just weird.
Yeah, that was
Um
weird.
Frat boys versus the Masons. You didn't like that?
The
The Poopas?
the Elks Club or
Yeah,
whatever they
Elks Club.
are.
Yeah.
The
Good stuff. It was good stuff.
those clubs must have been popular in the 80s, man. Because they're all over. Like, like they're in like
Like
those like
Mason, you talking about Masons
no,
clubs? Or?
like lodge clubs where they wear like fez hats and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Like they're in like Stand By Me, and they're in, I mean, the Flintstones, it was a thing.
Right.
Like, feel like it,
There's one in Cheers. I think Cliff is a member of one. There's one in like it was an 80s thing, definitely.
I mean, in town here we have like a private drinking club, but I
Really.
think that's, yeah, but that's mostly just to keep in my experience, because I know a few people that are in. We have one in town, and then there's a bunch in the city, you know.
Yeah.
But it's, yeah.
There's a giant building right on the lake that's like a Masonic temple. Is that what they're
Well,
called?
no. Like that's something else. That's like Freemasons.
What's that?
That's a
It
whole
sounds gross.
that's a whole different thing.
Oh,
Freemasons
okay.
are, yeah, Freemasons are all right, but
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, it's, yeah. You ever seen the Stonecutters episode of The Simpsons?
No.
No, so they're basically that. It's like they look like a cult, but they're not. They're just guys that drink together,
It's weird.
basically.
It seems sad.
It's kind of like an adult fraternity,
Yeah.
but
Exactly.
that goes back like 1,000 years. Like there's a lot of history to it,
Like Jesus started it or something.
I mean, they have been around. Like if you look it up, the Freemasons have been around since like the 1300s or something.
Jesus Christ. Uh the editing also in this movie was awesome. It was very like no fat, cut, especially during the action scenes, like the racing, the
Yeah, the stunt, like when the one
it
car
was awesome.
crashes, I was like, that's a really good shot of that. Like,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
and it
Uh
really really good in the beginning, like establishing that these kids are like just rich dickheads without coming out, even though
all
they
of
come
them.
out, but they come out later and just say that, like, oh, everybody's a rich dickhead. But this kind of just how they just don't care about their cars, and how they're, it pretty much nails that like right away.
Yeah.
It did that thing with 80s, with a lot of these 80s movies, where it's like, why are they friends? Well, you know what? It was a lot like, which one of these other ones we watched, that was a lot like this, where I got all the guys and all the girls confused with each other,
Yeah.
except for they always hang out with one nerd,
Yeah.
and it's like, why do they hang out with this guy? Like, it
Right.
doesn't make any sense. Why is he in the group?
Did you get immediately, especially once we started to see like his personality come out? I don't know the character and the actor, but Christine, you know the guy?
Yeah, I did. I know exactly what you mean.
Totally got those vibes off this dude.
Yeah, he reminded me of Joe Latrulio from in Wet Hot American Summer.
I don't
Like,
remember. I know the movie. I don't remember him.
he's the guy with glasses and a mullet. But um yeah, it was and you know what was funny was they set him up as a red herring so much
Right.
that like two or three scenes where it's like, oh, they're giving away who the killer is, whatever, and then it turns out not to be him. They did it so much that I thought they were doing like a Scream thing, where it was like, maybe it is him, because they keep setting it up and it being like, nope, it's not him.
Well,
And
that
then
scene where with the head, where the two girls are in his place,
yeah,
I still think that head was real.
no, because he was standing. He's the one that takes the eyeball out of it.
Yeah, but it's very ambiguous. Like even though he takes the eyeball out of it, the head it could still be the girl's real head that he replaced the eyeballs with fake
Yeah.
eyeballs. Because he was
And
like a taxidermist, wasn't he, or something?
yeah.
Yeah.
But and it also could be, I mean, when he sneaks up on the girl and she stabs him,
Yeah.
like he could have been there to like meet her, you know? Like that's
Yeah.
not crazy. They just
Yeah.
never explain. But like, yeah, it's not nuts.
Did you have you ever seen the movie? Well, have you ever seen the movie Malignant?
Yeah.
Did you like it?
Eh, yeah,
Yeah.
I liked it or not. I mean, it wasn't, I didn't, I've found that a lot of people really love it and a lot of people really hate it. And I really
Right.
was like, I get like there was stuff I really liked about it, and then there was other stuff where I was just like, this kind of sucks.
I think people that really didn't like it
Hmm.
are not like it's a very it's almost like the origin of a DC supervillain in a lot of
Yeah,
ways. But I got like serious Malignant popped in my head as soon as we started to see the girl's brain
yeah.
surgery. I was like,
That
"Oh, she's the killer." Like that to me gave it away.
see that felt
She's
kind of
crazy.
like out of nowhere, and like to me, I was like, yeah, I was watching. I'm like, what is all this about? Like, why is this in the movie?
Yeah.
And then, yeah, we'll get to
Okay,
it.
so no, that's a good point because by the time you get to the ending, it's like,
Well, you know what, you know when it started to get like, wait, like the whole third act of the movie is like, wait, what? Wait, like the part where they're in the bell tower,
yeah,
like that's when it starts to be like they jump to another scene,
right.
and it's like, what happened? And then they show like the aftermath of the thing, but no, but that's the other thing. When you have a main character that doesn't remember anything,
Well, she back in the bell tower, she backs out. Remember, she backs away into the dark and it goes completely black
yeah,
on
well,
her
yeah,
face. So it's almost like it's like metaphorically she's blacking out. And then the next time we see her cut and she doesn't remember like what happened.
right. She doesn't remember what happened, but then there's another scene where she's in like, oh, she's gonna go take a shower, and then she's like having these flashbacks, and then she goes into the bathroom and she finds her dead friend, and she's like, I killed my friend, and she flips out, she calls her therapist.
Right.
Her therapist comes over, and the girl's not there.
Right.
And it's like, wait, what is going on? And that doesn't work with the ending. I mean, does it? Like
I don't know. I mean, I really liked the ending,
this,
the screwiness of it. But like what you're talking about, there's things that don't add up when because they put so much of it on her. And so I guess all of that can be
well,
explained
yeah.
away by she was hallucinating so much because of her
Well, yeah, like I
brain
think
issues.
going into the like last like 10 minutes, it's like, okay, the main character is the killer, right?
Right.
And then how does she get tied to the table? Like,
Well, and then it's like, oh no, she's not the killer. She has an evil twin sister.
well, no, it's not even she has an evil twin. Yeah, that you're right. Then
Yeah.
she pulls it, yeah, she finds one of the girls she kills, and she pulls up or whatever, and it's her, and it turns out she has like an evil twin sister.
But then it's
And it's
like,
like,
nope.
but then they pull that face off the evil twin sister, and it's
Scooby
one of the
Doo
other
style.
girls from the movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
What the funniest thing I almost, oh man, the best was, so the main character is wearing blue, like a blue like shirt, and the other person, like the twin, is wearing this like frilly like white dress,
Yeah.
right?
You're talking
So
about the
like,
end. You're talking about the end.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So then like once they reveal that it's um that she's her twin, like it's like, oh, I'm your twin or whatever, and they're doing that, she pulls off the girl's blue dress and she has the same frilly white dress
Right.
on underneath. And it's like, okay, so now they're wearing the same shit, and you think they're gonna like do something like that or get mixed up or whatever. The twin takes off her frilly red dress and she's wearing like a blue it's like, it was like a Naked Gun joke. I was like, what is going on?
Dude, how awesome would it have been if when she took the mask off, it was Liam Neeson?
I mean, that mask. That was that was insane. That was like a Mission Impossible
It totally was, dude. It was crazy
mask.
because, and also another like more props to the director, man. Also with the bell tower scene, I think that was like really good stuff. But with this, like, there's a shot where before she takes the mask off, it's the same actress playing
Yeah.
the twins, the twins. One's sitting down, one's standing up, and in any other movie or show at this time in 1981, when you've got that two of the same person, it would
Hmm.
look like garbage. It did not. It looked real, I thought.
Well, did they ever put them both in the same shot?
Yeah, there's a shot where it's back and she's sitting down and the other one's standing up and it's like, "Oh shit. Are they
Okay.
are they real twins in real
Because
life or what?"
there were a lot of like
Back and forth.
there was a lot of shots where it was yeah,
Yeah,
but the other one's head wasn't in there, or
right. Like
like
cut back, cut back.
yeah,
But yeah, there was one shot and I feel like that was his like money shot where he was like, "All right, we're gonna make this look good," and it did. Normally there would be like a glow around one of them or something.
yeah.
But it was shot really well. And then yeah, so she takes it off, the mask off. So she was a sister, the sister, or no,
So
she was a
that
friend. She was a sister because sister and stepsister, sister-in-law,
yeah, no,
stepsister.
she was. I think they both had the same dad.
Yeah, who had an affair with the mom,
Yeah, that's
and
what
the
it was.
mom was
But
crazy.
but the girl was the other girl from the movie. Like she was like one of the friends, right?
She had been playing. She had been
Yeah. When she
manipulating
took
the
the
whole
mask
time.
off, I
Right.
was like, I don't know who the hell that is. I had
Oh,
no
really? You
idea.
didn't recognize her?
No. And then like the more she talked, plus she looked different every time she changed her clothes. I was like, it looks like a different person.
Well, at the end, she looked like a zombie, but it was the girl who she saw in the tub, who she was in there
Yeah.
the whole time.
Yeah.
Uh,
I know she was in the movie the whole time, but
yeah,
like I said, like all the guys and all the girls,
looked the same. I know.
they just look the same to me, you
The
know?
only actor, the only one that I recognized was the guy who got the shish kebab in the mouth. I'd seen him before and stuff.
Yeah, that's the other weird thing is like everybody like it's like what like three couples or something. Yeah, but they're
Because
all like
there's the dork who
there's
does
a
it all the time.
dork and then there's like four couples maybe. But like everybody's you couldn't
Trading.
yeah, you couldn't see who was with anybody and like they're all like, "Hey, why don't you go dance with Steve?" And it's like, "But that's his girlfriend. What's going on?" The whole time they're all just switching boyfriends and girlfriends. And it's
Yeah,
like, what is going on here?
yeah, it
It
was
was
weird.
so weird. Oh, and they wear that. I was so glad that because the first scene, even like where they're with the Elks Club or
Yeah,
whatever, and they're all wearing those scarves. I was
yeah.
like, God, that's annoying. I mean, like whatever. I'm so glad
that's
that factored in and like got one of
that's
them killed.
that's not an ascot, is it? What's an ascot?
No, an ascot is what Fred from Scooby Doo wears, where
Oh yeah, yeah.
it's like a tie up here, right
Okay,
by his neck.
all
No,
right.
that was a full on. That was a fucking Doctor Who scarf.
Yeah, that was a great kill, man. I'm so glad. Like, I feel like the kills in this movie were ones that you were like, yeah, cool. Do that.
Yeah,
Like that makes sense in the scene. And like the scarf into the motorcycle tire, and then I just and
the
they
weights was
showed
good.
they showed a good. What was it?
The weights was good.
Fights was good.
One of the girls dies a certain way that was pretty good too. I forgot what it was.
Well, there's the one in the beginning, and then um there's one that they didn't show, and she was like the one who always had really cool hair. I don't think they showed how she died. Blonde. She was in the swimming pool.
Yeah,
I don't think they showed how she died.
I don't remember.
Um, what
Well, it
else?
must not have been
The
great.
one, I mean, for me, the shish kebab one was hilarious because she goes, they're at the dance. That was another instance of what you were saying, where it's like, wait, you two are dating, but
Yeah,
she all of a sudden she's like, you want to go back to my place? I have snacks. She literally says that.
I'm glad that turned out to be like it's a different person because and they she had the big James Bond ending where she's like they had to like explain scenes and be like, this is where I did this and this is what I did,
Yeah,
whatever.
I didn't mind that for a movie like this where you get to see all the kills again, because it's not, it's not trying to
Spe-
be anything that's not.
one of the so there's a guy that I went to high school with that he works on Jimmy Kimmel now, and he had a pretty funny tweet today about what we're talking about. About he's like, I wish in the original Scream, either Stu or Billy, while he was explaining his entire like how they did everything,
Uh,
at some point was like, and then I went and put the costume on, just stood in a grocery store, and then left. Because there's that scene where she's in the convenience store and just closes the like she buys milk and then closes the door and
uh,
he's in the grocery
oh
store.
yeah.
Like
That, I didn't think about that when we were talking about Six Cream last week, uh, where there's the scene in the grocery store where Ghostface just comes in and starts killing people.
yeah,
I wonder if that has something to do with that scene that you're talking about.
I don't
That's
know. I
like
mean,
that's like here's that scene on on steroids or whatever.
that's what I would really like, and that's kind of what I thought they were gonna do when I saw the opening scene to the new Scream. Is and this would be cool if we eventually get to a point where you can just like you don't need actors. Like CGI gets so good that you can just basically have computer animated actor puppets, you
Mm,
know?
yeah.
I would like to see, hey, do Scream 1, but from Billy and Stu's perspective. Like
Mhm.
where they're like, all right, well, you go here and then I'll be here. And then we'll go, you know what I mean? Like I'll
Yeah.
go into the grocery store and stand around, and then I'm gonna come in and kill you, and she's gonna think this. I would love that movie,
I
you
think you
know.
could do that with I think it would be cool with the right animation.
I'm
You
just
know?
saying I don't want it to be recast. And you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Like
I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
and I feel like it only works if we've already seen the first movie. You know what
Yeah,
I
and then
mean?
you know the outcome of their
Right. Like
actions
if we know
throughout.
it, yeah,
Yeah.
if we know, although it would have been cool to Scream 6 to see the whole thing from Flash Thompson's point of view.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, but he was taken out. Well,
Yeah.
that would be cool for the new Scream movie is to just do it. You want to do something fresh, like do it from what you're saying, where it's like instead of Ghostface popping out, let's see how Ghostface got to the closet, like you're saying from their perspective.
It's a lot less scary to have him like just
I
go
know,
and
but
stand in the closet.
but it would be something new, like
Yeah.
and
It
then
is always like I will always give a movie like if it's a pitch like, like what's that movie Freaky that came out last year? Did you see that?
uh
It just based on the pitch, I was like, you know what? Yeah, you got me. I'll do it.
yeah.
It's Freaky Friday, except
Oh, is that Vince Vaughn?
yeah, it's Vince Vaughn
Okay, yeah,
basically plays Jason,
yeah.
and he gets Freaky Friday with one of his like victims, like one
Yeah,
of the
the
like
pitch sounds great,
yeah
but
it's one of the like dumb high school girls.
was the movie shit?
It's not bad. It's fine. It
Yeah.
was. I mean, it's
Yeah,
fine.
but you also said that about Cocaine Bear, and when you heard the
No, I
pitch
didn't.
about
I said
Cocaine Bear,
Cocaine Bear was terrible.
you were like, oh yeah, that sounds great. That sounds like my kind of movie, Cocaine Bear, a bear that does
Yeah, it does. And then it was terrible. Like, I mean, that's the thing. You got me there with the
cocaine.
pitch. That's
You
that's the
got me
pitch's
with the
job.
pitch. You got me.
Yeah. But then it's shame
Okay,
on,
what's the pitch? A bear does cocaine. You got
yeah,
me.
I'm in. I'm in. But that's shame on me. Or no, I'm sorry. That's you know what I mean? I won't be seeing Cocaine Bear 2 because you know,
Because she had cubs, so
you
it's
could have
and
you
it
could have
ended with them. They had drugs all over the place. Those
they
bears,
they could have made it Cocaine Bear awesome.
dude, get
It
out
could
of
have
here.
been great. It's the premise. The premise does not.
Get
Roger Ebert.
out of
That,
here.
that was one of the things he used to say. Is like you can make a good movie or a bad movie about literally anything. It's
Ebert used
the
to say that.
yeah. It's.
Wait, is that supposed to be profound? He said you can make a good movie or a bad
Well,
movie.
yeah. Well, I mean, that's he said a lot more eloquently that like you could like honestly like I'm trying to think of a movie where it's like how could that possibly be good? And it's great. Well, I was gonna say MacGruber, but you're gonna shoot that down.
Jesus
But
Christ.
like Planet
I
of the
am
Apes,
never gonna watch MacGruber.
Planet of the Apes is like one where it's like, how could that be good?
Wait, are you
And
talking about Marky Mark? Or are you talking about
no, the
Charlie?
original. Like if you in a pitch where you were like, yeah, but the whole planet is monkeys, like you'd be like, what? That movie sounds terrible.
I don't know, man. That sounds like if you say it right, if you say like, all right, look, they go to space, they go the wrong way, They come back. Earth is monkeys. I'm like, all
Well, you
right.
can't give them that the right. Oh, yeah, you can't tell them that in the beginning, dude. I love Planet of the Apes one. Just the
Yeah.
idea of like
Yeah.
'cause that's what would happen if
It's
it was like.
terrifying.
Well, no, I just love the idea that like he shows up and just his existence changes everything about their belief structure. You know what I mean? Like the gods they believe in and their whole thing, and that the one that they're the two scientists are just like we got okay, we got to change everything.
Yeah.
Like this is fucking this new information. We need to whatever. And like
Aliens.
yeah, like
Yeah.
like and their response like the people that run society their response is like nah, fuck that. And
Dude. Yeah.
they just said, "Now we're going to be willingly ignorant. Like
Yeah.
we don't care that you know we're going to keep worshiping a god that is like it's wild."
Up until I would say 5, 10 years ago, probably less, probably like 5 years ago, everyone, I mean, you used to hear that all the time. Like, man, if aliens ever land or we discover aliens, it's going to change everything. It's going to wipe out religion, organized religion, all this stuff. I don't think that's true anymore. I think
No.
aliens land outside. I think people don't give a shit
Yeah.
because I don't know, because we're just a bunch of assholes now. But yeah, I think that Planet of the Apes is very prescient in like,
I know I say it all the time, but there's a lot of episodes of Star Trek about this very thing
oh
that like
man, I need to
that
watch them all. I need to watch them all.
you should watch there's an
You
episode
talking
called
about
Who
next
Watches.
gen, yeah?
Yeah, there's a few next gens.
Or are you talking about what else?
There's a few Voyagers. There's one episode of Voyager that keeps popping in my head, but like it's not a one-to-one comparison. But basically, there's this character who like is pretty religious, uh, and he dies, and they bring him back after he's been dead for like I don't know, maybe like a half an hour, but like he doesn't see anything when he dies, and he's like, holy shit! Like he like sees like there's no guy like he's just and
Uh,
the whole
just like
episode about how
blackness.
yeah, and I've committed my life like I've lived my life according to these rules and like
Yeah,
this is this and he's like but that it's nothing like it's a really good episode but
yeah,
like
man. So
but
now,
then like yeah yeah you would hate that episode though because it's Neelix.
Neelix.
If you hate yeah
Jesus
if you
Christ,
think you hate
Neelix.
Star Trek,
We haven't talked about Neelix in a while, man.
do you know Neelix?
Yeah, no, Neelix. Everybody knows Neelix. Fuck that guy.
Neelix is awesome.
No, what's his name? What's the actor? I like that guy.
Ethan Phillips.
Ethan Phillips. He's good. He's got that high voice, that silly man voice. But
Do you know about Tuvix?
get out of here. All right.
Tuvix.
Anyway,
Wait. Hear me out. There's a great episode. Neelix and Tuvok. Tuvok's like a stone faced Vulcan.
uh,
They get something happens with the transporter, and they get merged into one person.
oh my God.
No, this is a great
Tuvix.
episode. So they get merged into one person,
Yeah.
and they name him Tuvix
Yeah.
for Tuvok and Neelix.
Yeah. I
Obviously.
get it. I get it.
But
I follow.
but then the episode is about like so anyway they're like okay well fucking fix him make him Neelix and Tuvok again and like we got to do a bunch of stuff and we got to figure that part out so then they're gonna do it but then the rest of the episode is about like he's one being and he's like hanging out on the ship and like he's like I don't want to go back to being two people I'm my own consciousness I'm my own person
Oh my God.
and it's like is this morally ethical to like separate him now like is it
Yeah.
murder
Yeah.
it's awesome. It's a really good one.
So
So
they do separate them, obviously, right?
yeah, they do.
So when they do separate them, do they each have memories of the unique being that they once were?
I don't think so. I
So
don't
that
remember.
being that person is erased.
It yeah, it's dead basically. Like yeah,
Wow, weird.
they might have. But I don't think they do.
See,
But
that's
yeah,
when you describe it like that, and the same thing with every other episode. It's like, oh shit, that yeah, it's the package that it comes in. I know what Neelix and fucking
Tuvok,
Dorzax. What are they?
Tu- Vulcan.
Oh, oh,
Yeah,
he's a Vulcan.
he's the Black Vulcan. that you thought was
Oh
a
yeah, yeah,
when I sent you a picture of him, you're like,
yeah.
that's fake. That's like Saturday Night Live, right?
Oh my
No,
god.
there's black Vulcans.
No, it wasn't that he was a black Vulcan. It was that he looked so stupid. Like it
Dude,
looked
Tuvok's
fake.
awesome. Tuvok's
Tupac.
my yeah, Tuvok's my second favorite Vulcan.
Is it Tupac? What is it?
Tuvok with a V.
Tuvok. Is it played by Tupac? Because that would make sense.
No,
That would
it's
make sense.
played by an actor named Tim Russ.
All right, good for him.
Actually, Tuvok is in the new Picard show.
Jesus Christ. That was good. I'm glad it was good. All right, man. The other thing I had a question on. Um, so right at the end, we're at back still at the end, and she stabs the bad villain, the sister, the bad sister. She stabs her and saves the day, right? But then I guess that's the cop just happens to be
Yeah.
walking by, or like, first of all, this is like some abandoned house. What is this?
No, this is her house.
But it's all cobwebby and there's dead
Oh
people in it.
yeah. What
Remember?
was the deal with that house?
Remember when the
It was like a second. What was the deal with that house? They like bring that house up to
do they explain what it is?
it didn't have something to do with her mom.
They probably did. Because remember, the therapist is outside and it's like storming, and he looks at the house, and then he gets closer and he looks at it again, and he hasn't gotten any closer. And then he
Yeah.
gets closer and he looks at it again. He's still the same distance away.
Yeah.
That it felt like some like naked gun. That felt like some naked gun shit. But then he gets killed before he gets in, I think. So they're in this weird decrepit house. I don't know. I can't remember why.
Well, no, I think it's her house because
Now they go out of their house
well,
and
no, the
run through the
dad comes
woods.
home.
The
Oh yeah,
dad
yeah,
comes home,
yeah.
but he leaves.
Dad comes home and he goes to the cemetery and he
Right.
finds like yeah, that's where he finds a therapist dead
Right.
and I think the mother's been dug up
Yeah.
and then like he wakes up and that doesn't she knock him out and he wakes up in the house.
Yeah. And he's like, and he's at the table with her.
Yeah.
Like, that's the other thing. This little girl, this little woman person is able to lug around all these large men
I thought the same thing.
and
Like
see
at
them at
first,
the table.
and when you see her like running around, like before you know it's her, like there's a stunt man playing her. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
people are looking up at her and stuff, and it was
Yeah.
like, okay,
No,
you know,
totally. But yeah, so they're in this house, regardless of what the house is. And this cop just happens to be walking down the hallway in this house and turns and is like, oh, and it's like some like, oops, like what
yeah,
did I walk in on? And
exactly.
the girl who's the good guy
Had
is
just
holding
killed the bad guy.
had just killed the bad guy, but she's holding the knife, so she's fucked.
Right. Yeah, and that's how the movie ends.
Jesus Christ. What an insane ending. Like,
Also, the title of the movie, the whole time, I'm like, what? Why is this called Happy Birthday to Me? And then it feels like at the very end of the movie, they're just like, they like added on that little like thing about the birthday plot. Like,
right.
nope, she was really into her birthday,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and no one ever came.
I'm okay with that, but it's like, yeah, it's fucked up that nobody came, actually. That whole story of the why she's so disgruntled. But that was just weird. I really liked the ending, but also it was like just so it wasn't terribly bizarre, but it was just like, I don't know, it was weird, but it was really creative. It was really creative, I thought.
Yeah, it reminded me of like a drive-in movie that you would see
Hell yeah.
and then never, you know what I mean? Like,
This would have been awesome at the drive-in.
yeah, like just something that you can kind of half pay attention to, and then it was fine. It wasn't bad. It was on the same cat. What was the last one we watched like this? It was
Well, I mean, there was Funhouse.
yeah, it was like Funhouse. It was better than Funhouse.
I thought it was better than Funhouse. Yeah. I think the director put way more into it. I'm just surprised that this movie isn't talked about more. I mean, people like I got the Blu-ray from my buddy Dan, so people like him, me, it's on our radars, but I feel like it should be up there a little more. I don't know.
I mean, if what year was it? 81. I mean,
Yeah.
it makes sense. Like, what year did Friday the 13th come out? 80.
Yeah, 1980. So the year before.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense that it was probably like, fucking, let's put one of these together. Like, look how
Yeah.
much money Friday the 13th's making.
Well,
Let's just
yeah.
do
This was
that.
very. Yeah, I guess so. That's a good
You
point.
know?
Friday the 13th was one of the first female slashers.
Yeah. And that one did, it was kind of a mystery, even though that one kind of, it's less like, who is it of these people? I mean, the whole, actually, if you watch Friday the 13th one and you don't know that it's Mrs. Voorhees at the end, then it's like,
Spoilers,
it
dang.
it is you do like you do get a sense of like it's one of these people.
One of the group, right?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, there is a giant misconception out there in the ether in pop culture kingdom that Jason Voorhees with a hockey mask was the killer since the beginning
Yeah.
with a hockey mask. People don't
Yeah.
realize that number one was her mother. Number two, he's wearing a sack. He doesn't get his mask until number three.
Yeah.
There's that there's like an actual story to this character. So yeah, no, you're right. I think that it's possible that they saw that and were like, let's do, but they took it like they raised the bar as far as the craziness and the intricacy of the killer's plot, I think, you know.
Yeah. I mean, this is better than, I mean, Funhouse was literally, I think, that like we can make one of these really cheap and shoot it out and whatever. This seemed to be, it's a it was fine.
Yeah.
It was a,
Yeah.
for what it was.
Yeah. Um, cool, man. Well, thanks for indulging me. I dig it. I'm glad that I got to see this and I can like add this into my repertoire of or library of shitty 80s movies, slasher movies. Um, so you next week, dude.
Yeah. I
You got
got
what do you have?
I
I what do
So
you,
all week I was planning on being like, I guess I'll do Interview with the Vampire because there's no
oh shit.
other eyes that I can think of. And then I thought of one today and I was
Yeah.
like, I've never seen it. Uh and I know a couple people that have really liked this movie, but the couple people they're both psychopaths.
Wow. I'm
Like
nervous
I
now.
used to work with a guy and I want to know, have you ever seen
Wait, are you about to say the movie?
yeah.
Okay. All right.
Have you ever seen Ice Cream Man?
Ice cream man, ice cream man, ice cream man. No.
All right, I'm gonna send you the poster right
Yeah.
now.
Let me look at it. I like this. I like,
You're gonna, as soon as I send you this poster, you're gonna be like, "Fuck yeah!"
yeah, I like where this is going. Ice cream man. I should know this. Let me see this. Where's this text you're talking about? Let me see.
He just sent it.
Here it comes. I can see it's formulating.
It's so Ice Cream Man stars Clint Howard.
Clint Howard, man. What a weird face that he's making. Like, has he never shushed anyone?
I don't know, man.
Look at that. It's like he's in pain because his finger is shushing. Yeah, dude. All right. I'm proud of you, man.
I don't know
Uh,
if this is good. I mean, this might be a so bad it's good. This
hell yeah.
might be this. I mean, I just see, but like I said, the two people I know that like this movie,
Our
one of
second-
them was a fucking lunatic, man, but he loved this movie. And he would tell me to watch it all the time.
Okay. What year is this? Do you know?
95.
Really?
Yeah. I thought it was way earlier.
Yeah. Cool,
But
man. But see, that's why I don't recognize the poster because it wasn't 80s on the mom and pop wall. It was
looking
past
at,
that.
I was looking at the that's gotta be wrong. Like that's what
What?
IMDb says. The year,
Oh,
like,
95.
oh my god, there's more. There's more. There's different. There's a different box that's like even better.
Really?
Yeah, I'm gonna
Yeah,
send
dude.
you.
I'm excited about this. All right, man. Next week for letter I, Ice Cream Man. I like that. Interview with the Vampire
I mean, it's just it's kind of
would
a
have been fine, but everybody's seen that.
everything, and it's kind of a bummer movie. It's, you know what I mean. It's like,
Is it?
I mean, I love the movie. Don't get me wrong. It's really good, but it's really serious, and it's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean,
I
what are you
haven't
gonna
seen
say?
it since high school, I don't think.
Oh, it's really, really, really good.
Yeah.
But it's taken the subjects like, and that's the thing. It was like, it's taken vampires dead serious, and
Yeah.
it was before anybody really. I mean,
Got Christian
I don't know.
Slater in it, man.
Yeah, Christian Slater's in it. Tom Cruise, Brad Pitt,
Gleam in the Cube.
uh, uh,
Antonio Banderas.
Cantaro Medeiros, Kirsten Dunst.
Would you call him Cantonio Pateras?
Yeah.
Um, cool, man. I'm excited for this. Let's
I
do
knew you
that.
would be when I
Yeah,
saw this.
yeah.
I'm like,
Are you? Did you pick? I'm curious. Did you pick that specific, like trying to
it,
appease me?
no, well, it just looks like it'll be more fun. I haven't seen it, but I
Yeah,
do
yeah.
know it sounds like it's gonna be nuts. And
See if you can dig into these two psychopaths that you know that love this movie.
one of them I would still work with, and I don't like him.
All right, see what you can find out. Like, just be his friend for like the week, and just see what you can find out about him.
Okay.
All right. Get some like.
I mean, he doesn't have
backstory.
bad taste. He loves the Warriors too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
Dude.
I mean, you know,
Just see if you can get like into his mind. You know. For the
maybe
week.
I'll check on the other guy.
All right. Don't. I mean, don't get yourself like killed or anything like that. But, all right. What else we got? I think that's about it. Folks, you just listened to a gem, so you're welcome. If you want to find us on social media, Death by Podcast on Instagram, Twitter, and I don't think I ever tell people our home is podbean.com/Death by Podcast. That's where we're hosted, but you can find our podcast everywhere that you pod. If you want to support the show directly, patreon.com/Death by Podcast, where you find our second bonus mini podcast, BoobTube TV, where we talk about horror TV. And this week we did Tales from the Crypt, season 2, episode 17, Connected. What's it called?
My Brother's Keeper.
My Brother's Keeper. Man.
By the way, I think we skipped one, and I was looking at the IMDb ratings, and the one we skipped has the highest rating of any episode in season 2.
See, it's impossible to find the correct.
I was on the Wikipedia.
Find out which one that is, and we'll do that next, because it's all over the place online as far as when you get to 14, 15, 16, 17, it gets weird for some reason.
Okay.
So find that one. We'll watch that into, because next week on Patreon we're doing, what's it called again? Put Water on Me.
Oh, Gremlins, Legend of the Mogwai, or the Gremlins cartoon on HBO.
All right, it's the new Max, on HBO Max, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Gremlins cartoon. Is this supposed to be serious?
I mean, it's a kid show.
All right.
So,
well, I'm looking forward to it. It'll be fun. Kevin's a Gremlins man. He has 2 Gremlins of your own. Speaking of, man, I meant to say, like, you sent me that video of your kid running around and playing with one of the toys, one of my robot toys that I made. Is that what it was?
Yeah.
What an insane child.
Well, they're both really into robots right now. And that one, like, they found that one in my room, in my office. Yeah. And they're just like, I got a little robot. Like, they have a bunch of robots. And
you like said something to her, and she turns around and just goes like, ah. It's like, holy shit, is that what it's like? All right.
Yeah, cool. Sometimes.
Good for you, man.
But yeah, they're way into robots right now.
All right, I'll try to, maybe I'll make another robot. Don't let them eat that. It's resin. It's gross.
They won't eat it. They're old enough not to eat it.
All right. Thanks for listening, folks. We're gonna get out of here. I'm your host, Adam. That's your other host,
Kevin.
It's Miller time. Kevin,
wait,
take it away. Take it away, Kevin.
Hang on.
Good job. Good job.
Shut the fuck up.
That was like 3D. That's awesome. That was good. Thanks for listening, folks. Happy birthday to you. Peace out.